Welcome to the Polar Homestead. We learn finance, permaculture and prepping. A modern view of the world. Don't forget, freedom is in your hands. Stay safe and vigilant, friends. And now your host, Ralph KK. Launch in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
On today's episode, the rise and fall of Terra Luna, the cryptocurrency. At the top, it had a market cap of around $40 billion and a price of approximately $119 per token. The founder and creator of Terra Luna, named Do Kwon, he probably has no idea what happened. So the coin went from $119 to $10, then to $10, then to $1, then to 1 cent, and then to decimals of a cent, so literally to zero. A lot of people presume that this was an attack on cryptocurrency, and they might actually be onto something. But nobody really knows what happened, except that the price collapsed. The question that everybody has is just what happened? What happened, bro? Where is my money? Where is my money? There was this guy called Trevon James from the ICO Mania from 2017, yeah? His most famous phrase was, he was like, hey bro, you still have all your coins, but technically you lost all your money. That was the most hilarious thing anybody could ever say about a Ponzi scheme. He was involved in BitConnect, this coin from 2017.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, BitConnect? Hey, everybody, my name is Carlos Matos, and I am coming from New York City, New York. And let me tell you guys that I am so excited, I am so happy, I am really so thrilled to be right now sharing this amazing, glorious, super and exciting moment of my life with all of you guys. And let me tell you that we are really changing the world as we know it. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No. BitConnect! Wow! BitConnect! We are coming, and we are coming in waves. We are starting, and we are going to actually go all over the world. We are belting the entire world.
Yeah bros, BitConnect, those were the days. 2017 ICO Mania. Who remembers the pump and dumps in Cryptopia and Polonia? banks, 2017, 2016 and before. So yeah guys, 2017, those were the days. ICO mania, the dawn of Ethereum, and all this crazy experiment in the cryptosphere. It is just crazy how many people think that the cryptocurrency market is a scam or a Ponzi scheme. I mean, imagine that the cryptocurrency market is something like the Wild West. So you could say there are no rules, but there are some rules. This is why people experiment, create projects. A lot of people lose their money, a lot of projects fail, a lot of things collapse. Because it is something new. Like a new frontier, like the Wild West. So back to Bitcoin, and yeah, there was definitely a Ponzi scheme. It worked like a pyramid. People at the bottom gave money to the people on top. And to keep the Ponzi going, the people at the bottom had to find more people to put more people at the bottom to keep things going. And the moment that there was no people to put at the bottom, then the Ponzi would collapse. That was BitConnect. Now, if we are talking about Terra Luna, it was definitely not a Ponzi scheme. It was a very legitimate project. I will try to explain as simple as possible how Terra Luna worked. There was two tokens. There was Terra USD, let's call it Terra Dollar. And there was Terra Luna, so two tokens, USD and Luna. So how the system worked? USD or Terra Dollar, it was pegged to the dollar. So 1 USD was worth $1. The special thing about it is, or was, that USD was not backed by money in a bank. So it was only backed by collateral in cryptocurrency, which in this case was Bitcoin. They had some Bitcoin in their vaults. Okay, so Terra Dollar in theory was always supposed to be worth $1. $1. And how it worked was that you exchanged some Terra Dollar for Luna token. So there was a swap made between these two tokens to keep a balance of $1 for 1 USD. The supply of Terra Luna it was always elastic. This means that the supply could be increased or reduced anytime. In this way, the $1, the exchange was able to be kept at always $1. You could say that this was a very ambitious project because it was, you could say, completely decentralized. Decentralized in the sense that there was no banks holding any cash in any country. The stablecoin was collateralized by some crypto, like they had Bitcoin in their vault and maybe some other stuff like Ethereum or BNB. And this opened up a vector of attack, which a lot of people theorize that Terra Luna was attacked by, we don't want to mention names, but it was either a big organization, a big company, or a big government, because Terra Luna was a threat to the system, so they had to take it down. This is what conspiracy theories say. So the peg was lost 1 week ago. A little bit more than 1 week ago. The value of $1 was not $1 anymore. It just completely collapsed. So there was somebody attacking the network. How did they do this? So the rumor says that somebody got some Bitcoin, they collateralized it, they got like a bunch of $, and then they started selling the $, for Luna. Hence, there was just too much money, and the system could not cope with this stress, because this third party, they were just continuously selling at any price until the peg was lost. So they kept selling $, all the way to zero. Well, okay, Terra Luna, the lowest point was worth 1 cent. I think it was 1 cent. Anyhow, check this out. In 1 week, the whole cryptocurrency market, it lost $1.5 trillion, something like this. It was a ridiculous amount of money. And after the collapse of this algorithmic stablecoin, guess what happened? A bunch of people in the government, they started to call for regulation, for more regulation, to put more rules, more laws, which is ultimately what they want from the beginning. So this is the conspiracy. What happened to Terra Luna was attack on the cryptocurrency market for the government to be able to open a door for more regulation and laws, like very strict laws, very strict regulation. We don't know yet the consequences or what it is going to happen, but you can bet that down the road, in 6 months, maybe 1 year, new draconian laws will be passed, which probably would limit the ability for people or companies to create stable coins. So they basically want to keep on their own banking system running the way that it is, and for crypto not to be any kind of threat to them. I think today is one of those days when we have to call Vitalik, you know? You know this guy called Vitalik Buterin? He's our one and only savior. He's the god of Ethereum. Maybe we should give him a call so he comes fix this Terra money stuff, you know? Now, talking seriously, the people at Terra, the leadership, they have made several proposals for people to vote, and they're trying to fix this big mess somehow. So like today the price of Terra, it is like, what was it? It was like 0.00001 cents per Terra or something like this. It's ridiculous. Anyways, the proposal, it says they want to fork the chain. They want to issue a new token, and this token is going to be called like Luna 2 or something. They want to issue 1 billion tokens, because currently, you wouldn't believe it, but there is 6.5 trillion tokens in circulation. That is just ridiculous. Anyways, they want the new token. They want to issue 1 billion tokens. They want to take a snapshot of all the wallets the day before the attack happened. So before the price crashed. They want to take a snapshot to issue new tokens and to distribute it among people. It is the numbers. It is something like 40% to Terra dollar holders, 40% to Luna token holders, then 10% to the treasury, and then this is the key part: 10% to anybody who is holding Luna right now. So if you, for any chance, were buying Luna today or these days, and you got like a gazillion tokens for $10, I'm afraid to tell you that you will not get rich this way. From this 10%, from 1 billion, this is 100 million tokens, so this 100 million, they're gonna distribute it equally to all the token holders of Luna, all of them, and they will give you a percentage that it is equal to the amount of tokens that you hold. So if you have 1 million tokens and the supply is 6.5 trillion, I wouldn't expect to get many or any of the new tokens. So that's all for now about the Terra Luna saga. I personally don't think that this project is going to recover. I think somehow it will just be forgotten somehow. I'm not very optimistic about the recovery. So be careful out there when you buy cryptocurrency. It's the wild, wild west. It is the jungle, and the lion will come and eat you alive. Now some background music.
Welcome to the Polar Homestead. We learn finance, permaculture and prepping. A modern view of the world. Don't forget, freedom is in your hands. Stay safe and vigilant, friends. And now your host, Ralph KK. Launch in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Welcome to the apocalypse. Today we have a guest here. Her name is Christine from Norway. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Okay, so let's talk about food insecurity. Tell me, can you grow any kind of food?
We can grow food, but here the climate it is not that much kind like in the Central Europe, for example.
No, but I mean in general, like you as a person, can you grow any kind of food?
Yeah, sure. We have our little garden, but it's before we were using it more like fun to just to spend some free time closer to nature. But right now, probably with all of this situation happening, we will be more careful and pay more attention to this kind of activity.
Okay, so what can you grow? For example, you yourself, what can you grow?
I can grow kale, potatoes, maybe radish.
How do you grow potatoes?
I'm an expert in growing of potatoes.
How do you grow potatoes?
I put it in the dirt and it's growing. Like I'm not a genius in growing of potatoes. I suppose you have to ask.
No, but tell me the methods. How do you grow potatoes?
You put it in the dirt and
No. How do you grow potatoes? Imagine that you meet somebody on the street who has never grown any kind of potatoes. How do you grow potatoes? Like, explain to me, how do you grow potatoes?
You get with the seeds, or you get like a potato with the growth, and then you cut it and you put it in the dirt, and from this little growth, the new potatoes they're coming out.
Okay, so if I put some potatoes in the dirt today, in how long do I expect to get some future potatoes to eat?
In a couple of months, in like 3 months. What? Then to
And when are you supposed to put the potatoes in the ground?
No, here we usually put it like in May, like beginning of May.
So if I want some potatoes this winter, I should start to grow potatoes today, right now.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay. So tell me, what is your opinion about food insecurity in the world? What should the government be doing about food insecurity?
I don't think that the government would listen to what I say. So like this is their decisions, them and what they do. It has like big influence on what's happening. So what should they do? I don't think that there is anything that they can do instantly just to improve the situation right now. Like
so for example, today you go to the supermarket. there is like a lot of things or food that you cannot find, or that it has double or triple in price, like wheat, like pasta, like sugar, salt, meat, beef. It has gone up like 5 times the price. So what can you do in these circumstances?
For now, you still can get some, so just to not to make it too difficult for yourself, like for your budget, you just instead of one bag of pasta, you get like 2. You eat one and you put one for storage.
Yeah, but I mean, if the price is the double, triple, what do? You cannot even afford one bag of pasta.
Myself, I'm not in this situation, at least for now, and I hope that.
What do you mean? Are you like a privileged citizen with a lot of money? This is what you were trying to tell people?
I'm just trying to say that for now I can get myself one bag of pasta at least. But the prices that they're going up, this is the fact. So just work more, get more jobs, get more money.
So this is your solution for people to get 2-3 jobs and to work more, yeah? This is to get more money. This is what you're telling people to do, yeah?
Do you have any other solution from where to get money?
How about you tell the government to control inflation, to reduce inflation, and to make food available for everybody?
I don't think that the government would ever do such thing. So like we have to be realistic about this. Like this is some measures that we have to take just to survive for a current moment.
For example, in Germany, like last week or 2 weeks ago, in one day the prices of food, they just went up 50%, and maybe from that time until now the prices went up like 100%, something like this. So what should the German government do? What is your opinion about this?
Somehow they have to control prices. Probably the government should put some stable like level of.
So your idea is that there should be like price controls of certain food items. Is this what you are proposing?
Or some like beneficial stuff, like to some giveaways for people who cannot afford it, especially for the people with the children and something like this.
Any other ideas?
No, any other ideas.
Like food coupons or something, like they want to do in France?
No, for now, I don't think that this is necessary just for now, but in the future, probably this is decision. And
so coupons for one potato, one coupon for one piece of bread, and one coupon for 1 liter of milk per week or something like this, yeah?
No, maybe this is some kind of bag of food, like just items first necessity.
Like what?
Like milk, bread, salt, sugar, oil.
Okay, so you're telling me that in the current situation of high inflation, what people should do, your recommendation is that they should get, instead of 1 job, they should get 3 jobs. And then also, people should start growing potatoes, yeah? And also the government should give out food coupons. And so in these 3 ways, then everybody would be happy with a lot of food. Is this what you're proposing?
This is not exactly what I said. First of all, like you should get some extra income in case you can. Then also, in case you have some debts like credit cards, you have to try to not to spend to not to gain more debt and better pay it off, yeah, to not to be owning something. Also, like this is the point. And
estimates say that there is the highest amount of credit debt in history ever. There has never been any more debt than right now. So that means that people have used their limits of credit for their credit cards, and that they don't have anything else. So they have no credit anymore.
This is the point, that this is the difference between when you have cash and when you have a credit card. When you spend money, you don't really notice this when you don't take the real money from your pocket. So I suppose this is some kind of mentality, like some kind of program in the human's brain about this. But yes, one day, it will have consequences for people who just gain in debt and not pay anything back.
One day, this is like in 1 month or 2 months, because the debt is at the limit, and then people, they don't have any extra income. So what do you think is going to happen like in 2 months?
Quite possible that people, they will start losing their properties. Also, they will have to sell valuable stuff to try to pay off their debts.
So you're talking about a scenario like apocalypse? Is this what you're talking about?
Depends what you call apocalypse.
Apocalypse, I mean like a zombie apocalypse with zombies on the streets, and you go out and you punch the zombies, and then you go to the grocery shop and you get like some sugar, and then you go back to your base, and there are like zombies everywhere. That's what I mean.
Not in the situation yet when people, they're like really at the border of like poverty or something, like just like the end of the world. But people, they will lose this kind of lifestyle they got used to, especially like Europe or USA, with the very high standards of living.
So you're saying that the Europeans, they're gonna go to third world status? This is what you mean?
I cannot predict such a thing, but they will have to adapt. There's going to be a lack of food, lack of luxury stuff, and they will have to be rationing. Right now, they just cannot get whatever they want.
I saw on the internet that some people in some countries, they already cannot afford to buy the usual food that they used to before, like even 6 months ago. So like they already have to switch from one kind of food to another. Like one guy in Finland, for example, he used to eat rice every day, and then he had to switch to pasta, like to cheap pasta. And now with the prices, he cannot even buy cheap pasta anymore. So what people are going to do? Can you tell me?
Grow your own food if you can.
Potatoes? You mean potatoes?
You and your potatoes, like different kind of food, like kale. It's growing here in the.
You need high caloric food. This means potatoes.
Potatoes and vitamins, because without vitamins you're gonna lose your teeth. And here in the this country is quite cold, so we know how can the lack of nutrients and vitamins affect your.
Like calcium. You mean calcium?
And calcium and vitamins.
Okay, from where did you get calcium?
From milk, from.
No milk. There are no cows. It's apocalypse. From where do you get your calcium?
We are not in this scenario yet. We were already talking about this.
We are almost there.
There are still cows. There are still there is still like milk and stuff from where you can get the.
Okay. Besides milk, where do you get calcium?
I have no idea.
Beans. Kale. Lentils. And that's all. Okay, so what is your advice for the audience to do in the coming months to improve their situation, their food security, and in general their well-being? What do you recommend for the audience?
First of all, you have to concentrate not only on the bad things what's happening, but to still find some joy in life, because just like this, it's very easy just to get crazy with all this situation that the prices is going high and the political situation is like very concerning. So this is first. Second, yes, like while you can still get some extra stuff, like instead of especially in case you see something with like for sale or a big amount of food on the shelf, just take a couple of boxes of pasta or any other kind of food, just extra for storage, and learn the way how to grow your own food, because this skill will serve you good in the days which are coming.
Okay. Say goodbye to the audience.
Goodbye, people.
Okay, bye-bye.
God bless you.
I spend my days in despair, for in my mind you're still there. When nights turn cold and blue, how will I live without you?
Welcome to the Polar Homestead. We learn finance, permaculture and prepping, a modern view of the world. Don't forget, freedom is in your hands. Stay safe and vigilant, friends. And now your host, Ralph KK. Launch in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Welcome to the apocalypse. Hello and welcome to the studio. It is me, your host, Mr. Ralph KK. And again we have this guest named Christine from Norway. Hello Christine.
Hi there.
How are you? What's new with your life?
I still have it. It's continuous. The same problems. So what do you want to talk to me?
Did you manage to grow any potatoes yet?
It's been like several days since our previous conversation. So
It's been exactly 2 days. Have you got any potatoes in 2 days?
you asked me last time. It takes several months for them to grow. So if you have any other question except your famous potatoes.
Between 3 months and 4 months, this is what it takes to grow potatoes. So what do you think about the current condition of the world?
It's the same.
No, it is not the same. Today, check out, in the news we have monkeypox.
What's this?
Monkeypox. this is a viral disease similar to chickenpox, and it is a new disease and it's spreading in the USA and in Europe. Today there has been 8 cases in Italy.
Like every day you just find something like this in the news, so or pig flu or bird flu, something like this. And after COVID-19, I suppose it's already not such a great news to hear anything about disease. Like everybody like kind of got used to such kind of news. So this is just another disease.
But the name says what it is. Monkeypox. It means that it is a disease that comes from monkeys. This doesn't scare you, this kind of name?
No, this the same if you would be scared of pigs or birds.
Like a pig flu. Are you scared of pig flu?
Of course I'm scared of any kind of disease. You can die from any kind of disease. Actually, you can die from anything. You can just fall in the puddle and die there, so you can be scared of anything. Yeah, like the name, it makes you think what it is, but.
So you mean that we should be brave in face of apocalypse?
Yeah, sure, we have to be brave.
Okay, so what else? You know what's happening in Sri Lanka? Do you know about Sri Lanka?
Yeah, this is horrible news.
What's happening in Sri Lanka?
All of these riots and the last news about the leader.
But why are people rioting in Sri Lanka?
The reason is the same: high prices for oil and not enough resources. And I think that this what is coming, like earlier or later, probably everywhere in a different level of intense. Like depends which country it is. So like this, what we will face soon, probably in many countries, especially the third world countries.
So you mean that the zombie apocalypse is coming?
I already got that. This is your favorite phrase, zombie apocalypse. Yeah. Anyways, people, they're angry, they're writing.
And they are hungry.
People, they're all the time hungry.
So today, officially, Sri Lanka, they had the last day of fuel, of gasoline. After today, they have no gasoline for no cars, no nothing. And according to them, to their government, they only have $1 million of cash for the whole country of Sri Lanka. What do you think about this?
Of course, this is horrible. And how do you think that they could fix it in a short term? Just it's not fixable instantly. Like in case you have such a situation, people will continue writing. So what exactly do you want? Are you asking?
No, according to the government, they asked for a loan to the International Monetary Fund. So they asked for like a aid package. So they are waiting for some kind of money from them, but there has not been any kind of response. So they have no gasoline, they have no food. There is people rioting on the streets, like even people, like common citizens, they are taking justice to their own hands. So they go to the houses of politicians and they start like burning the houses of politicians, or finding the politicians and beating them up with sticks. Or they go outside of parliament and they wait for the politicians to come out from parliament and they start like beating them up with sticks.
This is like paradox that it is like a very, very, very rare case when people they would be satisfied completely with the government, and but in situations like this, when it is some kind of extreme case, so like you can expect anything from people. But the point is that whatever government they would put there right now, instantly in such a situation which already just there, and it is not fixable just immediately. So even with the new government, I don't think that this problem would be solved instantly and would be solved in general. It should be some kind of decision, not only for Sri Lanka, but in general, some kind of decision for the third world countries, which very soon they will not have the same resources and money. So it should be maybe some kind of program to help them in general.
Do you consider Turkey a third world country?
Difficult to say, probably not. So they have great income from tourists, tourism. So I don't know. They have like a lot of ways to get income.
Today the Turkish lira is collapsing again versus all the foreign currencies, and the prices they are rising, and people they're gonna start rioting.
The key word here is again. So it just happened again.
Okay, what about Iran, for example? The price of bread, it went up 10 times in one day.
In different countries, different products, and inflation is growing everywhere. You cannot name no one country which wouldn't have like the prices to raise like they're raising just in every country. In Iran this is one thing, and in Germany this is the other thing.
So is this a problem of the third world, or just any country can experience these kind of problems?
I suppose any country, just like I say that if we are talking about the third world countries, it just coming like faster because of the lack of some stuff, the same like lack of money and resources. For more developed countries, like European countries, it's also coming, but with not such a great speed.
Today in Italy, in Napoli, people were rioting because of the prices of food, because the prices of gasoline, the prices of gas, all the prices they are just going up to infinity.
They come to infinity everywhere. Look at all the prices. You go to the shop and just compare prices from 1 week ago. And this about Italy, this is also about the mentality of these people. Like, have you been to Italy?
I have been to Italy. People there are very nice.
Yeah, and also they're very expressive, so they cannot just hold this. If they don't like something, they just go outside and they shout it loud.
Today in the United Kingdom, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, he said that he will try to deal with the bad economy. He said that the bad economy is the fault of the bankers.
Anything new? He all the time talking about.
But he said that the bad economy in the United Kingdom is like the worst in 40 years. Inflation is the worst in 40 years. And he said that this is the fault of the bankers. Is this true or not?
In which way?
Because the policies of the bankers have led to the inflation in the United Kingdom to be 40-year high.
Usually, like, of course, he would try to blame it on something, and it's very difficult for them to accept what is happening for real, because like everything is connected. Like the price for oil, the dollar, the same. Like because of this instant printing of money, it's like this constant like huge inflation. It would be very. Very stupid to not accept that it would also have big impact for Europe and for all the and for United Kingdom, which are not part of Europe. Yeah.
So you are saying that this inflation is caused by the all the infinite amount of money being printed?
Obviously.
I spend my days in despair, for in my mind you're still there. When nights turn cold and blue, how will I live without you?
You are like a common citizen and you understand that this is happening, yeah?
You don't need to be genius. You don't have to be genius to understand this. We have facts. You just look at this, and especially the last like 5 years, like this constant printing money, just which already like you just print and print and print, and they just don't worth anything anymore. Just the paper with no value. Especially it's not based on gold or nothing. Just printing for any needs, and so obviously it would have some effect in the future. And right now we are getting the result of this, and this is just the beginning.
So if you have this kind of idea, it means that the truth is spreading among the common citizen to see what it is really happening with the economy. And you know what the bankers said? The bankers, they said, oh no, it is not our fault. The high inflation in the United Kingdom, it is the fault of the policies instituted by Boris Johnson.
The point is that for some reason people, I wouldn't say they're blind, but they just don't want to accept the facts. And especially like people, not young people, they tend to watch just general television with all of this government people speaking, and they tend to believe them. And they don't want just to make their own research and compare the facts. Also between my friends, some of them, they just continue like believing in something what the government tells them. Don't make their own research.
Okay, so people, they're starting to notice the truth, yeah? So how long do you think we have before people start panicking and start like trying to protect themselves against the future, like to go and buy like 50 kilograms of pasta or rice or something like this?
This is also like two-side situation. Like when people they start panicking and they're buying piles and piles of pasta and other and potatoes and sugar and salt. Other people, they just see it, and this is like a chain effect. So like as soon as more people they will start getting more stuff in the shop, the more people will join them, because not only because of the understanding the situation that it's going to be not enough of food, but because they think that the other people they will just take everything and there's going to be nothing left. Just from this point of view, not from the point of view that they do really realize what's happening.
Okay, so how long do we have until people start panicking?
I don't know. Like I think that we will see it closer to the end of autumn, when it's gonna get colder, and also when farmers they will get the crops from this year. So the end of summer they will see that this is not enough. Maybe then people they will realize, but who knows? Maybe earlier.
Maybe earlier. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, that is some very interesting opinion. Now tell me some closing comments. How should people prepare for the future, like this coming winter? Because this winter it seems like it's going to be very difficult. Like the price for heating is going to be very high, the price for food is going to be very high. What should people do at this point?
We kind of discussed it last time, so I already said that get some extra food for storage, get another source of income. Also, probably what I would like to add that probably people they should learn some skills of surviving.
Survival? You mean like combat skills, hand-to-hand combat with a knife?
This is not what I'm talking about, just usual survival stuff when you go to the forest, for example, like when you need to make a fire without a lighter, yeah? Can you do it in case you have like an emergency?
What do you mean, with like stones or something like this?
No, there are different tools, like you can also get it and have it in your bag for traveling. Also like the skills like just
like hunting.
No, probably hunting included. So like just easily to make a tent, to cook food on the fire, just to take out like insects from your skin.
You are suggesting people to eat insects?
I said in case the insects bite you, and sometimes they go under your skin to take them out. So like not all the people they can do it themselves.
Okay.
And how to protect themselves from wild animals,
like a bear.
And also self-defense against the people.
Hand-to-hand combat with a knife.
You're too violent. Just for people to not to let to punch you. In case they're angry, like in case you're in the crowd and you need just to get some shelter and protection, just to punch somebody to.
So then you mean something like a pepper spray.
Or pepper spray.
To blind the enemy. Okay. That sounds very, very smart and intelligent. Okay, say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye, people. Stay safe.
What else? You forgot to say something.
I will not say this.
Welcome to the Polar Homestead. We learn finance, permaculture and prepping. A modern view of the world. Don't forget, freedom is in your hands. Stay safe and vigilant, friends. And now your host, Ralph KK. Launch in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Welcome to the apocalypse. Hello and welcome, my fellow humans. This is Ralph KK. And this is the Polar Homestead podcast. Today we have a very interesting topic to talk about. Considering everything that is going on around, like check out the news, you see the main problem today, or the current problem today, is food insecurity. By food insecurity, I mean that the amount of people that has no access to food or to adequate amounts of food is greatly increasing daily, particularly in developing nations. There it's a big problem, but it's not only them, because soon it is going to be a problem of the first world. The first step before there is a scarcity or lack of food, the first step is high prices for food. If you go today to the supermarket, you will notice that the prices for everything, they have greatly increased, at least 2 or 3 times of what it used to be last year, for example. And today the main problem is wheat. There is not enough wheat in the world. According to some research done by a company that uses artificial intelligence to calculate how much wheat there is left in the world, according to them, there is around 10 weeks left of wheat in the world, for the whole world. 10 weeks left, and after that there is no more. I mean, can you imagine what this would do to civilization? Like what would Italy be without pasta? Can you imagine Italy with no pasta, or France without a baguette? This is apocalypse. Or maybe somewhere near the end of our civilization. I mean, in my entire life, I've never heard of a time where there was no wheat or food crops. Well, I mean, in the 80s, in the 90s, it was a big problem. The times of famine in Africa, that was a big problem in the 80s and 90s. I do remember that. Supposedly, the supply chain today is in a terrible condition. The worst that it has ever been in history. We have this situation happening over there in Ukraine, which doesn't let the wheat to come out to be exported to their countries. Ukraine, they are like a major producer. They produce around a quarter of the whole wheat of the world, or something like this. So what can you do in these circumstances as a person? If I were you, I would go to the supermarket and start buying pasta. All the pasta that you can get while you still can get pasta. The shelf life of pasta I mean, if it is airtight, it is approximately 5 years with acceptable flavor. So pasta in reality, it never expires. You could have it 10 years, 20 years, maybe 30 years if it is airtight. The pasta itself, probably it wouldn't go bad, but it might just taste a little bit funny. You could eat pasta that is 30 years old. It would not kill you, but it might just taste a little bit funny. But if we are talking about quality, like pasta that you can eat, that you can make a dish, 5 years, this is a good time for storage, if it is airtight. So airtight, this means that it's in a plastic bag and there is no air coming in, coming out. And then you store it in some cold, dark place. Cold, I mean like 0 to 5 Celsius. This means cold. And like this, you can keep your pasta in a very good condition for 5 years. One of the most important topics for this year 2022, it would be how to grow food and food preservation. This should be your main concern today. Well, besides inflation and wealth creation and how to keep your wealth in these circumstances, but I mean you could have all the gold in the world, but if you don't have something to eat, what are you going to do with all this gold? You cannot eat gold, but you can eat pasta. This is for sure. Most people today, the modern man, they have lost the ability to grow food. I mean, yourself, can you grow food besides potatoes? Because I mean, anybody can grow potatoes. You just grab a potato, you drop it in the dirt, you cover it with dirt, you drop some water on top, and 3-4 months later, you will have maybe some more potatoes. Potatoes are very easy to grow. But in general, can you grow food? Do you know how to grow food? If you've ever tried to grow anything, or if this is going to be your first time, you will soon find out that growing food is one of the most difficult things to do. And it is not easy. Food production, it is something very difficult to do. Along your journey of growing food, you will have many disappointments. There is nothing like the feeling of putting some seeds in the ground, seeing those seeds growing, a plant comes out, and you have some kind of attachment to this new plant that you have kind of created. And then, maybe a couple of weeks later, maybe a month later, 2 months later, then what if something happens, like if it is outside, what if it is too hot, or what if there is no water? And then the plant dies. Then what do? This will be a big disappointment to lose a plant that you were growing. And this can disappoint you or encourage you. But in general, when you are growing something and it dies, you usually take this like a hit. It does bother you. So imagine you're growing like a whole field of wheat. There is no rain and it is hot outside, and your whole crop dies. How would you feel about that? This is just one of the hurdles of growing food. We use the method in itself. How do you grow food? The method. It is something like a step-by-step thing to do, where you can fail all along the way. It is not smooth. So my recommendation for you today would be to learn how to grow something. Start with potatoes, move on to beans, maybe continue with beans. Beans are something that are not so difficult to grow. I mean, there are some food crops which you can grow, which are very easy. You start with potatoes, you move to beans, then you move to something else. For example, kale. Kale is super easy to grow. And once you establish a plant, it will keep coming back like every year for a couple of years. From 5 to 10 years. One kale plant, it will give you food every year. You just have to fertilize it 2 times per year. At the end of the season, you cut it down a little bit. And if winter comes, if you live in a place where there is snow, and like before winter you put some mulch around the plant just to protect it. This is kale, a plant which is very nutritious and will feed you every year. How about some berries? Do you like berries? Berry bushes, it is another plant which once you put in the ground, it will come back every year for several years, 5 to 10 usually. And every year it will give you a crop. Depending, there are dozens, maybe hundreds of varieties of berry bushes. I particularly like blackcurrants, because the bushes of blackcurrant, they become very big, up to, let's say, up to 2 meters tall and 1.5 meter wide. So can you picture this? A berry bush, blackcurrant, 2 meters high, 1.5 meters wide. Can you imagine this? It's almost like a tree. And every year, this tree-looking plant, it is going to give you, if you have like a mature plant of around this size, like a big plant, it can give you up to 10 kilograms of berries per bush. And once you establish this plant, it will come back every year. And it requires almost minimum care. All you have to do is to fertilize it from spring up to, let's say, the beginning of autumn. You just have to fertilize it carefully every 2 weeks, and different kinds of nutrients. There is some science behind this, like which nutrients are, how to give the plant the nutrients, what kinds of nutrients. There is some science behind this, but once you understand what you have to do and how to do it, then it becomes easy to do. And you do it every year, and every year you get maybe 10 kilograms per bush of berries, you will have so many black currants that you will not know what to do with it. Like every year myself, I just have buckets and buckets of black currant. I'm eating them fresh, I freeze a lot of them, I make jams, I give it to neighbors fresh, I make jams, I give it to neighbors, because I have so much of them that I just don't know what to do with it. But in times of crisis like today, these berries, the best way to preserve them would be jams or freezing them. But the jams, they don't need any kind of refrigeration, and you can just put it in a dark shelf. You can keep it there for a couple of years, 3 to 5, if you make a jam. Be sure to check out my links, my social media. I'm always posting tutorials about how to grow plants, how to make food. Another thing that you should be learning today, it is learn how to cook, learn how to prepare food. And I think that you should start with learning how to bake bread. Bread is a food staple. It is something basic that you can create. It will feed you. And just let me tell you this, that not many people talk about, or even chefs or bakers, they don't talk about it. But check this out. Baking, it is like science or like mathematics. Baking, it requires an exact amount of ingredients mixed together in a certain way, so kind of chemistry. So this is some kind of science, baking. So you have your exact ingredients, your exact way of mixing them, and then you put your mixture in a mold and you bake it at a certain temperature. And let me tell you this, if you follow the instructions exactly as they say exactly, you will get a very exact result. So even if you have never cooked anything in your life, if you follow the instructions to bake something, you will get a good result if you follow the instructions exactly. Because baking, it is like some kind of science. Be sure to check out my YouTube, Polar Homestead, because I do post videos on how to bake bread. They are very easy to follow, and I mean anybody can do it, and they are usually around 10 minutes. So be sure to check out my YouTube if you want to know how to bake bread. Well, that's all for today, folks. The podcast was fun, interesting, and informative. I'll see you on the other side.
Welcome to the Polar Homestead. We learn finance, permaculture and prepping, a modern view of the world. Don't forget, freedom is in your hands. Stay safe and vigilant, friends. And now your host, Ralph KK. Launch in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Welcome to the apocalypse. My fellow humans, this is me, your host Ralph KK, and today we have a very interesting conversation about, can you guess about what? Today it's a very relaxed and chill topic. Today we will talk about how to grow berries, the magical trick and a special kind of science to grow the best and biggest, juiciest berries in the whole world. So, berries, they are a yearly crop. So every year you get a certain amount of berries at the end of the growing season. So around the end of August, start of September, okay, let's say the end of August, you get your crop. Then winter comes, the berry bushes, they go to sleep, and they will be sleeping until spring comes back again. Usually after the last snow falls, the berry bush will wake up and start growing again. So during winter you could say that they are in some kind of hibernation. Most berry bushes, they are native to the northern hemisphere of the planet, so they need a cold season kind of to reset their clock and to continue their cycle. So that means they wake up, they grow, they give fruits, then they go to sleep when winter comes, and they need this sleeping season as a way to reset their clock. So it's usually not common or a bit difficult to grow berries in warm climates or tropical places like Brazil, in the Amazon or something like this. It is difficult because there's this cold season that the berry bushes, they need to reset their cycle, to start their cycle again. Also because berry bushes, they have this cold sleeping season, you could say that they are a hardy bush, a hardy tree. The bark itself, it is hard like wood, so made for cold weather. And because of this, they are kind of easy to grow. They are not so difficult because the bushes themselves, they are considered a hardy plant. So in general, to grow plants, they have 3 basic kinds of nutrients. Three main fertilizers, let's say. There is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. In general, plants need nitrogen to grow new foliage. So usually you apply nitrogen in spring at the early stages of everything, so the plants, they grow a lot of leaves at the very beginning in spring of the cycle. You put nitrogen, a lot of leaves will come out. Then phosphorus, it is a vital nutrient. It is usually the nutrient that helps plant to develop the whole system, like roots, stems, and in general to keep the plant healthy. So you could say phosphorus, this is like a well-being nutrient for the plant. And then potassium or potash. The gardeners, we call this for sure, we call it potash. So potassium, this is the main ingredient for fruit generation, like tomatoes, peppers, aubergines, plants in general that produce fruits like this. They need a huge amount of potassium. So in general, you could say these are the three basic rules of growing plants. Nitrogen for leaves, phosphorus for general well-being, and then potassium for fruit development. So if you use this rationality for berry bushes, or to apply it in growing berry bushes, you would feed the fertilizer in spring at the very beginning when they are waking up. You give them nitrogen. You usually apply nitrogen every 2 weeks, so you give them nitrogen until they start flowering. When they start flowering, you give them phosphorus, like a general well-being nutrient. And then after pollination has occurred and you see like the little berries starting to grow, then this is the time to start giving them potassium, the magical word potash. If you've ever grown tomatoes or peppers, you know that when you give them a lot of potassium, like in the right way, you would get like a really big, juicy tomatoes or nice big peppers. So potassium, it is a key ingredient to have like a fruitful crop. But then some people would ask me, so if potassium it is for fruit development, should I give potassium to corn plants? And the answer is no. These three basic rules apply in general for most plants, but then each specific plant has a different growth cycle and different nutrient requirements. For example, corn, this plant, it only eats nitrogen. Even for fruit production, for the corn cob, it only eats nitrogen, and a lot of nitrogen. When you grow corn in your garden, you would know, or you would notice that corn, this just leaches out completely the nitrogen from the soil. So in the same area, you could maximum 2 times grow corn, and then you have to switch to a different crop because there will be no nitrogen at all in the soil. So you have to swap, to change your crops constantly. with corn, what most people do is they grow corn one season or half the year, yeah, and then they switch to nitrogen fixating plants like beans. You grow beans after you grow corn, so the beans, they are nitrogen fixating plants into the soil. They will fixate the nitrogen back. So back to berry bushes. The best crops, in my own opinion, the best kinds of berries to grow would be blackcurrant, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. Also strawberries, but the strawberries, this is not a berry bush. Strawberries, this is more like some kind of weed that grows all around the floor in your garden. So let's say you're growing blackcurrants, some raspberries, and some blackberries. So what you would do in general, this is a trade secret. I'm gonna tell you all my secrets. Spring comes, so the snow melts. Spring comes 1 week, 2 weeks after the last snow. You start to see some life coming back to your dry wood bushes. You see some small little growth there. This is the time to start feeding them nitrogen. And what you would do at this point, you would feed them a liquid solution of nitrogen. So you would buy the fertilizer and you would follow the instructions of how much to apply. It's usually something like so it is usually something like two spoons of your liquid fertilizer. You dissolve it in 10 gallons of water, and then you water this half of your 10 gallons, so 5 gallons per bush of your dissolved fertilizer. But be careful to follow the instructions as written, because you can burn the roots of your berry bushes, so you have to be careful with liquid fertilizer. So at the beginning of the season in spring, you give your berry bushes liquid nitrogen. And the main idea is to feed your berry bushes around every 2 weeks. The growing season is usually something like 3 or 4 months, so there is not a lot of time to get your crop. So you did the first step. You fed your berry bushes your liquid nitrogen. 2 weeks later, you have to change to a different kind of fertilizer. You have to get a granulated fertilizer. Still, we're giving them nitrogen. So 2 weeks later, you get granulated nitrogen, and you have to spread around the base of the plant. It again is, you have to follow the instructions, and it's usually like one big spoon of this granulate fertilizer, and you spread at the bottom of your plant. And these two, let's say these two feedings, they are very important, very key, because these nutrients will dictate how much foliage they're going to grow and how fast they start to grow. So these two feedings, they are key to start the cycle of your plant. Then it's been 1 month, so your plant is growing, there is a bunch of leaves, and it's just growing happily under the sun. Again, 2 weeks later, after you put the granulate, now it is time to feed them some phosphorus. This middle cycle feeding, this can be more flexible. So you can use organic fertilizer. You can use chicken manure, cow manure. You can use chicken pellets, chicken manure pellets mixed with phosphorus. Again, you can find all kinds of fertilizer in the shop. But in general, you can give them some good chicken manure, cow manure, and the plants will be covered for some time. With organic fertilizer like cow manure, chicken manure, you cannot damage the plants if you put a lot. So with this, you can be flexible. You could usually give them like one or two fists or handful of fertilizer per bush, and it's organic, it's natural. You cannot damage the plant, so you can just drop it around the dirt at the bottom. Then eventually your plants will start flowering. And then this is the key time to check what is happening in your plants. Again, if you're in the middle of the cycle, you feed them something organic, cow manure, chicken manure, or even worm castings. This is also like very good fertilizer. So your bushes, they flowered, they got pollinated, and you can see some berries coming out, some berries growing there. From the time that they flower, they got pollinated, after you see the first berries, it takes around, let's say, 1 month, between 1 month to 2 months to get your crop. And this will depend on the kind of weather you have where you live. So the berry will keep growing until the plant decides that it's time to go to sleep soon. So it could be growing 1 month, 2 months, and then the fruit will get ripened depending on what the plant decides. If it is warm, they could just keep growing until it starts to get cold again and the plant thinks that it's going to go to sleep. After the fruit starts to grow, like a small little berry, small little berries start to grow. You have 2 or 3 more, let's say 3 to 4 more feedings. And then, because it is going to be like 1 or 2 months, so you don't need to rush the process. You don't need to give them liquid potash. So you would give them granulate. I would say this is the best method to do it. So you need to go to the shop, you need to find some granulate of potash. There is all kinds of stuff. They sell like some kind of you could say ashes of potash, or some kind of dust of potash. I've seen it looks like kind of a gray stuff. But anyways, you give them granulate of potash again every 2 weeks, and again like one spoon per bush. These are general guidelines for your berry bushes for blackcurrant, raspberries and blackberries. General guidelines. It also works for blueberries, but with blueberries, they like acidic soil. So for blueberries, you need to make your soil acidic. For this, you can buy some specialized fertilizer. You can also use coffee grounds. Coffee grounds will turn your soil acidic. You can also use mulch, wood mulch, but you bury the mulch into the dirt, and you cover the mulch with dirt, so it will start decomposing, and this will make the soil acidic. You can also use pine needles or pine wood, but you put it in the dirt, you cover it with dirt, it starts decomposing, it makes the soil acidic. And this is only for blueberries. Blueberries are the most acidic loving berry bushes ever in existence. So spring is finished, summer is finished, and if you follow the instructions, probably you will have some very big berries. And depending how big and old your bush is, it will depend how many kilograms of berries you get. Like my black currants, they usually give me like between 5 and 10 kilograms of black currants, for example. The raspberries also, depending how big the plant is, they will give you many berries to eat. Strawberries, this is another story for another podcast. And the strawberries, I would highly recommend you to grow it because it's one of the easiest things to grow. But again, strawberries, this is information for another time, for another podcast. Hope you enjoyed the information, and I'll see you again next time. Enjoy the music.
Welcome to the Polar Homestead. We learn finance, permaculture and prepping. A modern view of the world. Don't forget, freedom is in your hands. Stay safe and vigilant, friends. And now your host, Ralph KK. Launch in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Welcome to the Hello, Christine from Norway. How are you today?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
I'm still here, alive, and not hungry yet. The current topic is food insecurity as usual, because people are hungry and there is no food. And we have wheat for 6 weeks or less. Several organizations, they came out and they said there is only wheat for 6 weeks, and then there is no more wheat, and then everybody's hungry. What should people start doing? Tell me, what should people do right now when there is no wheat?
This 6 weeks information, this is for the whole European Union? Or?
For the whole world. Some organizations, some researchers, they used artificial intelligence, and they calculated all the reserves of wheat for the whole world. They calculated this with artificial intelligence, and they came to the conclusion that there is. So when they released the information, it was 10 weeks. Today, something like 6 or 7 weeks left of wheat for the whole world. No, in stockpiles. And after it finishes, so they have to use the new crops, which nobody has harvested yet. So let's say the stockpile of wheat in the world is 6 weeks, and after this, nothing but the new crops.
Okay, this is in case like they're calculating that from this amount of crops they will just share between each other in like equal portions between the countries.
But yeah, but I mean, like, nobody's sharing. This is just like an estimate of how much is left in stockpiles. It doesn't consider like how or who is going to share any wheat. Like, for example, India banned all the export of wheat. Along with other countries, they have stopped exporting wheat because the people or countries, they are worried about their own population. And also, yesterday, India was also banning the export of sugar. So countries, they are stopping the export of basic staple foods because they need to feed their own population. So they are stopping the export of food. And so today we're in a position when there is not enough food for anybody. Only what you can grow in your own country, this is what there is.
So yes, like in case we are talking about Europe, about England, about Norway, and etc. They have such amount of wheat, and I don't think that it will be rational proportionally between them.
Yeah, but what do you mean by this? What do you mean?
Also, like as you know, in Europe there are like Russian-friendly countries and not friendly, yeah. So like for the countries who is friendly to Russia, there is bigger possibility to gain some food, to get some food.
Yeah, but anyways, I mean, Russia is not exporting any wheat to anybody for 1 year. They put a law that there is no export to anybody until December 2022 or something like this. So like the next 8 months, no exports at all, with some exceptions for friendly countries. But so far they haven't exported anything to anybody so far.
So, but we still can expect some exceptions for friendly countries. This is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but so far nobody has got any of this wheat. Russia is not exporting anything to anybody so far.
So, what is your question? What should people do? Preparing, or what the question is?
How are people going to survive in these conditions? Like, for example, yesterday, besides all the stuff in Sri Lanka now, and Sri Lanka and Pakistan, now today is Afghanistan. They are going hungry, they don't have food. They have the malnutrition in people, in children, is getting out of control. Just out of control. What people are going to do?
For Europe, it is complicated because people they could used to live like a life as only consumers, so they almost don't grow foods by themselves. So what they will just not be able to find the stuff in the shop, and they will just not know what to do, where to get it. They cannot grow this by themselves.
But still we live in a world where there is rich countries and poor countries. So the rich countries can buy food from the poor countries, even if they pay like a premium, or even if they pay 2 times, 3 times the price of the market value, for example. So in theory, rich countries like Europe, the USA, Canada, you will be able to find food, but it will be like very expensive. So in theory, people should still be able to eat in Europe. Like all this thing with the famine is going to be mostly for poor countries, like Sri Lanka, which like bankrupt. They don't have money, they don't have food, they don't have fuel, completely bankrupt. So do you think people started panicking already or not yet? Because check this out, like it was yesterday or the day before yesterday that some people that I know on Twitter, which are just like normal, usual people, they started posting on their timeline. They started posting like hey people, it is time to start prepping and start buying your food because there will be no food anymore. So like, are we in the stage of panic yet or not yet?
Like I just saw these people. I've seen these people like as long as I remember, I was watching YouTube. There are all the time people who are saying like, yeah, let's buy everything. The apocalypse is coming.
Yeah, but this is not the usual people that you find on the street, that they go to work, they go to school. These people, normal people, they're busy with their lives. They work, they go study, whatever. They are not watching YouTube. The preppers is like a small minority of people, like 5% of the whole population, or 3% or something. But at the stage that we are today, so this kind of panic that there is not going to be enough food for everybody, it's starting to spread to the normal population. Because now you hear like some normal people starting to talk about this. Like, hey people, start prepping. Buy your pasta, buy your potatoes. Because inflation, economic crisis, famine, food shortages, whatever.
So like there were all these people who were just talking about this for a while, and people, they just got used to this, and this is just kind of noise on the background, so they didn't take them seriously, and some people they don't take this information seriously. They're just busy with their daily life. But like slowly, I think that people they like slowly start to realize that somehow there is like really like for real less food.
But so these people that you said that they're not paying attention, they anyways, these people, they don't watch these YouTube channels, or they don't read these people on Twitter. So they are starting to panic because they go to the supermarket and they see that there is empty shelves, or that the prices of food, it went up like 2 or 3 times the price. So even though they don't get information from the minority of preppers or these people, anyways, they can see in their real life now the consequences.
Of course, they can see, and maybe right now there would be more like taking like more active actions in case we wouldn't have corona before, because like if you remember when it started, when people they started buying stuff, there were also like empty shelves, yeah, and it was like several times like this. So like in case it and do you remember how people reacted the first time when they saw these empty shelves? Yeah, like it was like massive panic about this, and then it repeated again and again, like with the second wave and etc. And right now we have the same, but it's caused by the war. So like, and I suppose something just like going not completely correct in a human's mind, that right now like this is the real time when you have to worry about this. This is not we don't have enough food, not because of raising of the consuming, like how we call it, like when people they just buying more than they need, but because there is no food for real.
So you mean there is food shortages?
Food shortages, yes. So maybe people they don't realize it yet, like just because they experienced this before and they don't really realize why it's this. Maybe they just don't see the reason and consequences, don't see the connection.
So like some people, they don't see the connection of why this is happening, yeah? And they could just, so normal people, they could just say that or think that this is just another time when people are panicking.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. They just think that, oh yeah, like, you know, this guy, he's watching this prepper all the time. He went and he bought 100 kilograms of rice and the whole shop of potatoes. So these people, they're just insane. I will just wait a little bit and everything will come down.
But you know, like mainstream media, they like to demonize preppers. They make them look bad, as if that the extra food they buy, it takes away from other people the opportunity for other people to buy stuff.
But actually, like, I saw some preppers. Yeah, I don't memorize the name, but some of them they really look crazy. Like I don't know that. Like the real apocalypse is like some kind of saint event is coming. So some of them they look for real like a little bit crazy. But so there are like a lot of reasonable guys, especially like this one which we're watching, the Canadian prepper.
Oh yeah, you want to say like a shout out to the Canadian prepper? Yeah.
Yeah, like no, I think that this guy, for example, he's reasonable, yeah, but like some of them you're watching, you're like, oh gosh, man, just relax a little.
Yeah, there is like a white guy. He's like a bald. He has like blue-gray eyes. His eyes, he looks up very crazy.
Yes,
yeah, this guy, he looks very crazy. Yeah.
Yes, this guy, he's like, he looks like he's not sleeping, and he just wake up in the morning, and the first word that he's saying, apocalypse is coming. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay. But anyways, because society needs people like this that can see things in the distance before they appear in front of you. So like all societies, they need this kind of people. You could call them like visionaries.
What the society needs for real, this is for the government to be telling truth to them. Like in case the government, they wouldn't be hiding the information, like, and they would be given this information up to date and not with the after proceeding in their brain, or just like making it comfortable for them, like according to their policy line. Then we wouldn't have these problems.
Yeah, but anyways, like the government, they would never tell you in advance about some kind of catastrophe about to happen, because they don't want people to panic. They don't want like the whole population just go to the shop and start buying everything like crazy, because this happens like when there is emergencies, like even very recent emergencies. So when people start panicking, they go to the supermarket, and they're just like crazy, just trying to take everything into their into their cars, and no, it's chaotic. It's like the breakdown of society, of the rules.
But for some reason, like as long as I remember, like when just COVID started, this Corona started, we had this problem that just some of them, they told that, yeah, like, you know, guys, it's gonna be not enough toilet paper, and everybody just ran to shop and bought the whole toilet paper. You remember, they didn't buy rice, they didn't buy other stuff, but they just like took all the toilet paper. So like people, they have to be reasoning, reasonable what to take, just to think with their brain, not just anybody says. Just search for information, what you can keep, like what is not spoiling for a long time. Like, just, I don't know, like, I think that not all these preppers who is giving you this information, or how you say that they can foresee stuff, they're all the time right.
But the preppers, they never recommended anybody to buy toilet paper. This was the common population that didn't watch the preppers. So the usual people, this is the one that went to the supermarket to buy all the toilet paper, because they didn't watch the preppers.
But somebody like got this idea first, like, I don't know. It's not possible that just one person saw another buying the toilet paper and he just.
Actually, there was like a scientific study about this, psychological study, that people they did this, or they do this because so toilet paper for people, this is like a sign of comfort for them, a sign of civilization for them. So they go and they try to get this to keep themselves like comfortable or civilized in case of a future catastrophe, according to this study that they made, some scientists.
Okay, this is very interesting information. And what is?
So do you agree or not? The toilet paper, does it give you comfort?
This is difficult question. Like, you know, I could survive without toilet paper and the apocalypse. This would be the last thing what I would be caring about, dying from hunger, you know. Like, I mean, that this is just very strange choice according to me. But your explanation, it's interesting. I don't have a reason to argue with you about it.
You're very funny. Okay, so we are very close to everybody starting to panic, like everybody, because so like supposedly by summer, like let's say August, supposedly by August it is the time when the real shortages will be like very visible for everybody. Like you will go to the supermarket and you could see the empty shelves with no pasta, no rice, no sugar. Like yesterday, several sugar producing countries, they started to put export bans. Like Brazil, they are not going to export any sugar anymore. So the next shortages are going to be about sugar. You will not be able to find sugar, for example. So what do you think people should start doing right now? To start buying sugar and potatoes and pasta, yeah?
No, it would be reasonable to make some reserve, but not just to get crazy about it. Like just.
I mean reserve, like to start like a stockpiling stuff, like put in your shelf something.
No, for example, what for do you need sugar? Yeah, like reasonable in case you're not eating it like day and night. Yeah, you need it for cooking. Yeah, just
you need it for food preservation, like a lot of this, to make jams, jelly, What else? For baking, also for baking, you need like a lot of sugar.
So you just this is what I'm talking about. That you just have to put in your mind that you have to be rationing. So like in case you're drinking tea with the 5 spoons of sugar, yeah, like you will be not able to do it. But you can have some sugar just to make some jam or something like something what you could keep for longer time. Not for luxuries, but for everyday usage. Yeah, like some extra. Why not? Instead of 1 kilo, get 2 or 3.
No, well, for daily usage, like everyday usage, yeah, you could say that for a family of 4 people, for example, maybe in 1 year, maybe you would use, let's say, maybe 3 or 4 kilograms of sugar in 1 year without food preservation, because to make jam, it is 1-to-1 ratio. So if you have 1 kilogram of berries, it is 1 kilogram of sugar. So this is like a lot of sugar. So if you don't need any sugar for food preservation, you could just buy 3 kilograms and put it in yourself. And that should be enough.
Also making like these baking desserts, like you also need a lot of sugar. But just to also to make these like salty tomatoes, cucumbers.
For this you need salt. You need a lot of salt.
Salt and also sugar. You add some sugar there, but you don't use a lot. So you buy sugar for stuff like this, just for daily usage. No luxuries, no baking, no something which demands like a lot of sugar usage.
And what about salt? People should buy like 20 kilograms of salt or 100 kilograms of salt for food preservation.
If I would be talking about me, for me salt it is more important than sugar, because I don't really eat sugar. I can eat a dessert, but like sugar itself, we almost don't have it in our house.
Did you know that in the past you used to trade sugar to the weight of silver? So you would trade 1 kilogram of 1 kilogram of salt for 1 kilogram of silver. Did you know this?
Yes, of course I know this, but this we're just talking about taste. Some people, they cannot live without sugar, and I'm the person
Salt.
And I'm the person who cannot live without salt. I like salty stuff. So like for me, like I don't know, salt is more precious than sugar.
But for example, if there is a collapse of civilization, if there is the apocalypse, salt is one of the 3 key items in society to keep it going, because you use it for food preservation, like to dry meat, to salt meat, for salty stuff, like for any kind of pickled items, anything pickled, you need a big amount of salt. So everything needs salt.
So do you agree that that salt is very precious? I mean that maybe it is even
to the
more
price
precious.
of to the weight of gold. After the apocalypse, you will trade salt for equal to the weight in gold. This is what it's going to be.
So what are you trying to say me? So guys, buy coffee, buy sugar, buy salt, and keep it. Later you can use it as a barter for gold.
Yes, we are going to a barter system.
Yeah.
You should buy instant coffee, because you can keep instant coffee for up to 25 years. Do you know this?
No, because of this I said instant coffee. Yeah, like have you seen the prices for this? Like to the moon.
Oh my gosh, they went 3-4 times up in price, because there is coffee shortages. There is like floods in Brazil. They're not producing coffee, so the whole market is just like not enough.
Polar Homestead. We learn finance, permaculture and prepping. A modern view of the world. Don't forget, freedom is in your hands. Stay safe and vigilant, friends. And now your host, Ralph KK. Launch in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Welcome to the apocalypse. Hello, Christine from Norway. How are you today?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
I'm fantastic. Did you know that there is only 30 days of wheat left for the whole world?
Yeah, I've heard about it. It's a lot of negative views on the TV.
But 30 days. I mean, first it was like 6 months. Or no, maybe 3 months or 90 days or something. So it was maybe 90 days. And today we are 30 days countdown to apocalypse.
Like, you know, I'm trying not to get involved with all this news. So, like, in case you want to tell me something, better tell me because I'm not following. But I've heard that there is some news about that Ukraine like promised to get some wheat for the European countries. So what do you think? How is it realistic or not realistic?
Do you buy your pasta?
I have some storage of pasta.
How much pasta do you have?
50 kilograms.
What, seriously?
Of course not. I just have a couple of boxes. Yes, I know that I have to get some more pasta for storage.
Did you know that they are rationing pasta in Germany? One bag of pasta per customer at the supermarket.
Yes, and then it means that the price for pasta is going to go up.
So we are like an economist today, yeah? Why is it going to go up?
Just for the people to not to be able to buy a lot of pasta. And
supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and demand. So like it means that
it means that it's an irregularity. The price of pasta currently it is too cheap for the demand. So how much is it? Like maybe 3 euros, 4 euros per bag of pasta maybe today? How much do you think it's going to be like in maybe by December, let's say? How much the one bag of pasta is going to be by December?
30 euros, bam.
No, but I mean, come on, seriously. So like, what the food that we are eating today, it is the crop from last year. And this year, food that we are eating today, it is the crop from last year. And this year, the crops from this year worldwide, they have been like very bad because there is all this let's say global warming, the bad weather everywhere. It's making the difficult for crops to grow. So like this year we are way below to what we produced last year worldwide. So there is a whole lot less food. That's not even counting the crisis in Ukraine, that they are not exporting food, and that's also not even counting that there is not enough fertilizer for people to buy, or the fertilizer is like too expensive, and the farmers, they cannot afford to buy it. So let's say maybe we have maybe 30% less food, maybe more, of what we had last year, and it could even get, I don't know, to 50% less than last year. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the real crisis, it is not happening this summer or December. The real crisis is going to be like next year, like next summer or Christmas to 2023, because what we are growing today, it is like really bad compared to previous years.
You also forgot to mention that the prices for fuel, for oil, so it also...
Oops, that is terrible. Oh my gosh, imagine. Gasoline, it is, how much is $10? Like $10 per gallon or something in the USA. So yeah, so like all the price for the fuel to transport food from and outside of countries and to the supermarket, and from the farmers to everywhere.
And not only to transfer, also like to grow it, to pick it up. You need to fulfill this machine.
I didn't think about it. You're like a genius.
Yeah, I am a genius.
So we are like in a really big trouble. We are in big trouble. So the real crisis, we haven't seen it yet. It is not for right now. It is the really bad times is going to be like next year.
So live your last day, human beings.
Like the Canadian prepper says, this is your last summer. Enjoy your summer. Relax. Enjoy. This might be the last good summer you have.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. That, like, even in such a condition, you have to find some ways to enjoy life, because like it can get like much worse, guys.
That is not very optimistic at all. This is kind of sad, depressing.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. What do you mean? Like a zombie apocalypse? This is what you mean?
No, come on. We are talking about Europe right now. At least we don't have war in our territory.
Yet.
No. I'm pretty optimistic about this. I hope that from this side everything is going to be okay. Like, yeah, we are going to have the food crisis and other problems, but I still hope that that everything will be finished in a peaceful way.
But can you imagine going to Italy and that there is no pasta in Italy? Or you go to France and they don't have baguettes in France. Can you imagine this? Or that you go to Germany and there is no beer in Germany because there is no wheat to make beer. Can you imagine this?
Right now you're talking not about survival stuff. This is about stuff which we could use to what make us think that the life should be like for us to be comfortable. Yeah, but beer and other stuff like to make a baguette and stuff.
Baguette is bread. You eat baguette every day.
Bread, you can make a corn bread also, not only from wheat. So like we're talking about in general. So like surviving stuff, yeah, even with survival stuff it's going to be difficult. Not only the stuff which we got used to, what according to us is what makes our life comfortable.
Okay, so tell me, in these difficult times, what do you recommend people to do? How can they relax? Like this could be their last summer or their last good summer for maybe a decade or something. So how should people relax this summer?
First of all, I have to mention that this is my personal opinion. Yeah, not all the people would agree with that. First, I think that you should limit your time you spend watching the television and social media in general, because it's a lot of negative information, and especially on the general TV, it's a lot of disinformation. What we're talking.
Yeah, like all this mainstream media, they're just like they're trash binning your mind. They're just dropping all the bad stuff in your mind, into your consciousness, to make you feel afraid and to make you tense all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing that, you know, like a lot of people, they still watch it and they really believe it like blindly.
But a lot of people, or at least you could say that the new generation, like everybody under 30, they don't watch television. They watch everything online. So the reach of these mainstream companies, like the news networks, it has become very limited. Only older people, like over 30, over 40, they still watch this. But the newer generation, they don't care about this. So you could say that the newer generation of people, the young people today, they're in a better position than the older generation in this perspective.
Yeah, sure, but still, like I suppose at least once a week they're watching CNN or something.
Don't say the name of the evil corporation. This is the name that we do not name.
Okay, this is Voldemort. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will not mention any evil stuff. So what are we talking about? How to make your
No, we're saying about not to watch the mainstream media and to get away from the devices with the.
Yeah, and in general, I'll just spend less time with this social media stuff because, like, this summer, this is time when we really have opportunity to meet with our friends.
So you're following the advice of the Canadian prepper. He said that you should go fishing.
This is a good idea. I don't like fishing that much, but yeah, like, why not?
Like to go into nature, go make a picnic in the forest or something, yeah?
Actually, I was talking about meeting with the friends, but yeah. So, like, what I was talking about, that get like real human contact, not just say hi in Facebook, because like it is very important to support each other right now, and just to be part of life of each other. That's what I was talking about.
To see people face to face, to have like human contact.
Human contact, yes.
So you should go your friends and you should go touch them in the face, yeah? To have human contact.
Oh, at least I'm happy you said face, not something else. What?
Please do not make this kind of jokes in this podcast. This podcast is PG, so children friendly, okay? Keep your opinions to yourself.
Okay, then you will delete it, okay?
No, this will not be deleted. So what else?
Also, probably it would be helpful to read some books like about positive psychology, also
Like self-development books.
self-development books, also probably books about self-protection.
Wow, what self-protection? Like what? Like martial arts or what?
Yeah, why not?
Wow, do you want to be a ninja?
Like not obligatory, like anything like extremely difficult. You can do wushu or something like this.
Wushu is difficult if you didn't know.
But this is not like I don't know, like taekwondo for me, for example. I suppose this is very individual. So martial arts, even yoga, you can read books about yoga and practice it.
Okay, so self-development. To improve yourself.
To improve yourself in all the ways. Let's say to improve yourself in all the ways. You can read books about economy also to understand the situation better. Just when you have time.
If you understand the economy, you will feel very depressed to what these politicians they're doing with the country and the economy. They are just destroying it. So it's better for you not to know about the economy or economics.
You can read books about cryptocurrency.
Also, it is better for you not to read about cryptocurrency, because if you understand about cryptocurrency, you will understand so you will understand what the illusion and fake the fiat system is.
It is all the time very, very good, just to good to know, just to understand
But if you understand, you will get depressed.
the real value of money, like not all the people, they just don't have a clue, that they just got used that they have some paper, but they don't realize what the real value of the money is. So and then we are following the position of dollar and other currencies. So you just have to understand, not to get fooled.
If everybody on Earth understood that the paper currency, it is fake and it has no value, then we would have zombie apocalypse for sure.
So what, according to you, is better to be delusional and just to know anything?
Yeah, like some people say, ignorance is a blessing.
It's up to you.
Okay, it's up to you. Okay, what else? Yoga, do you say?
Yeah, you can not only read books about yoga, you can practice yoga actually. Myself, I really like to do it. It let me free my mind and also get
free your mind. Wow,
reach something bigger. So I suppose in the current condition it's really valuable knowledge and practice.
Okay, what else?
Also, you could just do some meditation and learn how to stay positive and or at least neutral in this very stressful situation.
Meditation, what kind of meditation are you talking about?
You can practice Zen meditation, for example, or just positive visualization, and you can practice mantras.
Wow, where can you learn all of this?
Where?
Yeah, do you sell any books or something yourself?
Myself not, but I know a lot of YouTubers and just books from the professionals in this area. So I'm not pretend to be professional in this area. So
okay, which books, which master would you learn from?
In case we are talking about YouTube, the most the favorite of mine is yoga with Adrian.
Wow, yeah.
Best one, I suppose. And the books, I prefer books from Indian masters. Sorry, I cannot pronounce their names and you don't remember them. I just have it on my bookshelf.
Okay. So in general, your idea is to relax and forget about the world. Is this right?
It is not completely right. You just have to free your mind to see the clear picture. When you see the clear picture, you don't panic and you can get through this and just live through this without panicking. Continue living in the current condition, just adapt. And with these skills, your adaptation will be not that much harsh in case you will be just panicking and not knowing what to do. So all the skills, yoga, meditation, reading positive books, and etc. will help you live in the current world.
What about food? Do you think that eating like healthy food, does this influence your state of mind?
Of course. From my experience, I can say for example, the less meat I eat, my mind is clear. I still like to eat meat from time to time, but you are just feeling I don't know how to explain it. You just have less polluting thoughts, I would say.
Wow, so you're a vegetarian. Are you against meat?
I just said a second ago that I still like meat from time to time.
So are you proposing people to eat insects instead of meat?
It's up to you if you want to try. Myself not, thank you. In case I want to eat meat, I will get a one piece, but really good quality. Maybe it will be expensive piece of meat, but very, very rarely, yeah. But
do you know about the WEF and about Agenda 2030?
That you're not supposed to eat meat because...
About the Great Reset.
Also, they were saying that they were planning to put some medicine or something for people being not to be able to digest meat or something.
This sounds too much of a conspiracy.
Probably. Actually, like I said, I'm just not getting involved with the not necessary information for me.
Well, according to a little bird on the internet, they say that they want the population to stop eating meat altogether. No beef, no pork, no chickens, and they want you to eat either insects or fake protein, so like protein grown in a laboratory, and they want to make this fake protein like look like real steaks or like real burgers or like real meat somehow. So in general, according to the rumors, they said that the governments of the world, they want you to stop eating meat altogether, because according to them, this is good for the environment if you don't eat meat.
What I think, even with all these rules and limitations, rich people, they will be able to get a piece of meat.
Of course.
But like the people who is just buying food right now, like in like cheap food, what they so called meat, it's already not a real meat anyways. It will be just more and more and more. So right now, in case you're buying yourself like a burger somewhere in a cheap place, you really think that with the current prices it is real meat there. That make me laugh.
But anyways, like I said, they just want to take away the right of for you to eat any kind of meat. So like you will not have the right to buy it, and also you will not have the right to have animals for your own consumption or whatever, because they want to implement like some kind of a carbon tax system. So if you have animals, this would reduce your carbon credits, and it would be like so expensive that you would not be able to have animals, something like this. But in general, they want to take away the right for you to eat any kind of meat.
So what are you asking in this case? Would I eat insects, or what is the question?
What do you think about this? Do you think this is true or not? Do you think this is right or not? Like, should the government be deciding for you what to eat?
Actually, some people, they need meat just because of the health condition, Like some people, they just cannot live without meat. Not because they just desire, like this is their greatest desire. They just need this iron and other stuff. They just cannot live without this.
Yeah, like a doctor would tell you just to take like iron supplements or like some vitamins or whatever.
Of course, this, they can do it, but I don't know. Like, I don't think that they can forbid you to grow animals for yourself, for example, to get meat from them.
Just watch them do it. Like all the predictions from 10 years ago, like the conspiracy theorists, that they were saying that they were going to do this and that they just did it like right now. So what you say that, oh no, it is not possible that they will just take away your right to eat a beef or to grow your animals, whatever. They will just take it away somehow.
Who knows? I already tend to believe like any of these theories, because like I just sometimes just thinking that, is it a joke? Like all these people who put these laws, like are they okay in their head, in their mind, like to what they decide? I don't know. I just don't have any answer to your question.
You sound depressed already. Are you already starting to understand reality?
Oh, sorry, I just like my Argentinian piece of steak, and I'm not ready to say no to this.
So you are one of those people who cannot stop eating meat ever.
I'm one of this person who will gather some extra money in case I'm able to buy it even once a year, just to taste it. I'm a person of taste. I just don't know. I don't like to limit myself. I just like to try stuff.
You just like to experience life.
Yeah, exactly. I like to experience life. Life is too short, guys. We have to live it.
Okay, so do you like to drink wine? Which wine do you recommend to people?
I'm a fan of wine from Chile. I know it's fruity. It's very flavorful. Also from South Africa.
Wow, with some of this wine from these regions with a nice steak on the side, yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I already.
With someone like chimichurri sauce or something. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Or also like some white wine with the piece of baguette and brie, like with fungus, just with fungus.
And what if with Agenda 2030 they take away the right for you to eat your cheese with fungus?
I'm gonna be very depressed.
Okay. Okay, so considering everything that is happening, how would you keep your mind in the right condition for you not to go crazy?
To answer this question, I want to say that you start thinking like in different directions only when you are not busy with something you really like to do. Like usually when you are just sitting watching TV or doing nothing, or like not really concentrated on work you are doing, you start thinking you're thinking, you got it. You're thinking anything, you're observing anything what's happening. So, but when you're really working, you're concentrated on stuff what you like, what like really like get you in this flow. You just stop thinking about bad stuff. And I think that this could help your mind to stay clear. For example, for me, this is painting. Yeah, when I'm painting, just time flies very fast, and I just don't think about anything what is happening around me. And after this, I feel that my head it is also clean from all these polluting thoughts. So this is first. And second, like I said, you have to learn some techniques from books about this mental health, how to keep your mental health in a good condition. There are a bunch of books and very interesting techniques which I would recommend you to try.
So like what most psychologists recommend is that you should keep your mind busy like somehow. If you keep your mind busy, you can separate yourself from problems. So in the current condition of the world, like this is the main problem. So you keep your mind busy with something else, you separate your mind from the problems happening in the world. Like in your case would be like to start painting, yeah?
Yes, this what I'm talking about. In case you want to be happy, be busy. But be busy with the stuff what you really like to do. Like find your credo in life.
Credo, you mean like ikigai? Like in Japan? Yeah. Ikigai?
Yeah, exactly. I just forgot this word. Yeah, this is what I was going to say.
Okay, very well. This was a very interesting conversation. It is time to go outside to fight the zombies in the apocalypse. I need to go outside to the shop to get some supplies and to go back home.
Good luck to you. Look for your pasta. Get your storage.
I need to go collect my pasta in the supermarket outside in the world which is filled with the zombie apocalypse. Okay, say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye everybody. Stay safe and stay positive and be close to your family. Right now it is really time to support each other and to be very kind to each other. Good luck.
And?
What? And? Stay safe?
Your catchphrase.
No. I'm not gonna say.
Your catchphrase, давай.
I won't say.
Welcome to the Polar Homestead. We learn finance, permaculture and prepping. A modern view of the world. Don't forget, freedom is in your hands. Stay safe and vigilant, friends. And now your host, Ralph KK. Launch in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Welcome to the apocalypse. Welcome to the podcast. With me today, Christy from Norway. Hello, Christy.
Hi guys. Hello guys, hello people. Very good day to you, good people.
Are you okay?
Just in a good mood today.
Okay, so how is your summer?
It's good. Summer is finally here, but we have a very rainy day today. So like I cannot enjoy the sun, and but still I like the weather like this.
But you're like your skin, it is so white. If you have like you get like some sun, you turn red.
Yes, indeed it's like this. I have to put on the sunscreen on my skin constantly, even if it is cloudy. Yeah.
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 And how is that possible?
I don't know. Just my skin is getting red. Just even if the sun is hidden behind the clouds, there is some lights coming, and it still like makes my skin irritated. So because
Wow, that sounds crazy.
Sorry, Mother Nature didn't give me like a normal skin, like normal person.
Melanin.
Yeah, melanin. I don't have enough melanin.
You are not melanin reactive person.
I'm red hair, no melanin. Like a lot of red hair people, they have this problem.
So the ginger nation, they are allergic to the sun, yeah?
I guess so.
Also, I suppose my grandparents. Yeah, it was my. I suppose it was my grandma. She also had like super white skin, and every time she went to South America, the sun there is like a very bright and it's like very hot, yeah. So every time she went there to South America, she would just go outside like 10-20 minutes, and then she would go outside like white, like usual skin, and then 20 minutes later she would just come back like red, entirely red, and in pain and crying.
Yes, like this, and like in this case, like I just have to find my ways to survive. Like if I'm swimming, I not to put too much sunscreen, I can just wear something light just to cover my body, like for example, and constantly just put a new layer of the sunscreen so to protect.
And you know what we used to say about the grandma when we were children? You know what we used to say? We used to say, "You look red like a shrimp."
Why?
Because she looked red like a shrimp.
Yeah. Maybe before, like you just didn't have such a advanced cosmetic against the sun, I suppose. Like right now, I just buy something like.
What were you talking about?
Right now, you can get yourself a cream. This is 100 and higher SPF.
Wow.
Yeah, so like it just completely blocks all the UV lights. So.
When I was a child, like 40 years ago, we only used to have up to 40 SPF or whatever. Up to 40.
So this is an explanation why your grandmother was red as a shrimp.
Red like a shrimp. And we used to make fun of her.
And right now you're making fun of me. Thank you very much. You're making fun of me.
Okay, whatever. So what do you think about the condition of the world today?
Total craziness.
Do you think that we have finally reached like the peak lunacy of existence in the human society?
I suppose we will be able to answer this question after this will start to go down, because you cannot understand did you reach a top or not, but it's already pretty intense.
Yeah, but when usually when something it reaches the peak of whatever it is, like you can see it like everywhere around you and everywhere in front of you. So right now, like you go to YouTube, like every third video it is like the end is near, the crisis is here, total collapse of civilization. So every third video it is like this. And so when the moment that the crisis starts, as it goes, so a few people start to talk about it, and then it's incremental until like everybody, like the whole society, people is talking about this. So I think that we're at the peak of the panic, of the mass panic of people.
I don't think that we're at the top, but people, they're crazy, they're panicking, it's true.
No, I mean, maybe the crisis, like in reality, it is not so bad, but people psychologically, I think they reached like a peak somewhere.
Because when we speak of Europeans and Americans, they used to have pretty high standards of life. So like in case they don't have a baby formula, in case they don't have like some certain kind of cheese, which like according to them just make them like more imperfect, and only like this they can like have like a productive day after such a breakfast. Yeah, so the
avocado toast.
Avocado toast, so the day is ruined. So like if we look at the situation like from reasonable point of view, like you just have enough for now, just you can survive. It's not like life and death for now, but people they lost some of their privileges in this life.
Yeah, but you know, like people in the first world, they are not used to this kind of life. Like people in the USA, people in Europe, they are used to comfort and to get what they want when they want it. They are not used to having like crisis, and like today they have to eat some boiled pasta with some salt and oregano on top, and that's all. They are not used to this kind of life.
Maybe what I said sounds crazy, but what is happening from some kind of points, it's good. Like because if you remember this experiment with the rats, when they put them in the perfect condition, and at the end they just like they got the males, they got this endless narcissism. And female, they just didn't want to reproduce anymore, and at the end, just the whole population of these rats they died. Yeah, so the humans they're the same right now. They just got too comfortable, and this is like a shake, like something what maybe like they will realize it later, but this something what would refresh their life at the end, like the result will be something new. So like such crisis, it's good in the long term, according to me.
So you're saying that people need to have like some struggle in life to improve themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Just imagine for you, yeah, like just to drink your coffee every day, just don't care, yeah, like which kind of milk you have. You just every day 10 years. And you just already just don't notice how good it is, and then bam, and one day there is nothing, and then after like 1 month, 2 months of there is no such a milk or there is no coffee at all, you just grab this cup and you inhale this smell, and the life is perfect. So like this taste of life, if you are constantly like having it just constantly, you just don't notice this. So such crisis, it is good in the long term just to understand how good life it is, the small things which you can appreciate.
So this is what Germans they are learning today.
This is very hard lesson.
Very hard lesson for our German friends in Germany.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Good luck, guys, with 1 bag of pasta per customer at the supermarket.
It is too early to laugh. Maybe we are coming the same way, but yeah, like we will learn from your example.
Yeah, but the point is that so these people in very rich countries like Germany, Norway, I don't know, Sweden, Iceland, they have like a very high standards of living. So when these standards of living they are reduced and people start to struggle, then it is like very difficult for people in these places because they are not used to this.
Indeed, but like I say, it's all for good. You have to learn how to live in such a condition, and actually there is no yes or no, you just don't have a choice. We have the reality and we have to face it.
Like for example, people in India, every day they are struggling, like the majority. So every day it is a struggle. So even when conditions are hard, they just try to survive, to keep on going.
Yeah, I have nothing to add, like just it can be like any difficult condition, but there is an exit, there is a way just to survive through almost anything. And if you just compare yourself right now to these people in India or some countries in Africa, like your life is still perfect for them.
Yeah, people in Europe, their life is still perfect compared to somebody in Africa, because they have a home, they have food, they have heating, they have water.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like a lot of people in Africa, they don't have food and they are hungry.
Be grateful, yeah.
Yeah, be grateful, Europeans, because you still have pasta. It costs like 10 or 20 euros, but you still have pasta.
Yeah, like and the food will be getting more and more expensive. Like, so this is what I was talking about. You asked me like, did we reach this peak of massive hysteria? So like, I still think that the prices they're gonna get higher. We still don't know what will be the situation with the gasoline. Yeah. So like, and we just don't know. Like, people they're still like kind of.
You know, like who was like J.P. Morgan? They said that the price of gasoline is going to be, or yeah, it was like the price of oil. It was going to be $200 or $300 per barrel. So gasoline would be like I don't know, $30 per gallon. Can you imagine $30 per gallon of gasoline? Can you imagine this?
Yeah, this is crazy. But at least for now, like our human rights, they're kind of still respected, like by the government and by other people.
What do you mean? Are we going into tyranny or something?
Yeah, like in case the prices they're gonna get like very high, just unreasonable, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have like riots on the streets like in Sri Lanka, yeah?
Yeah, and for sure, like we have to expect that our right, they will try to limit our rights, and so this what makes people behave like not in a very civilized way usually.
Like in Sri Lanka.
Like in Sri Lanka.
So somewhere like in Canada, we're gonna see like normal people like chasing politicians on the street.
You know, like people they really change when they face something like they're running from the wolf. Yeah, this is not like the same people like which you would sit like together in the cafe and drink coffee. Yeah, just okay. You wanted to say something?
Do you know that? So there has been like several scientific studies about how the brain works when people don't eat. So when humans, when they don't eat for I don't know 3 days, after 3 days, their brain starts like regressing to like the primitive nature. So the longer you don't eat, the more backwards your brain goes. So eventually you end up like a reptilian. So your body is ruled by like primal instincts. So you see food, you attack and you try to eat it because you're like so hungry.
Gosh, it sounds too crazy.
Yeah, but it's true. It was like several scientific studies, and so your brain it regresses when the longer you go without food.
Also, like you just have to understand, like some people they see, like for example, they don't see steak on the shelf, yeah, in the shop. They don't see like greens, some kind of pasta, and they are like starting panicking. There is no food, there is nothing. I'm gonna die. but because of this, like in your previous when we met before, we were talking like how can you survive. So there is a way to eat like a lot of stuff in nature. Like you can eat this.
You can eat dandelions, bark. You mean bark from the trees?
Yeah. I was talking about this. I was just watching recently.
It's called
video from
wood jerky.
Yeah, this thing. I suppose the Canadian prepper or something.
Yeah.
This guy there with the big
The
muscle.
Canadian prepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's our savior.
I suppose he's almost the only one I'm watching because like I don't know, he's the less annoying of people.
Of all the preppers on YouTube, yeah.
I suppose he's the most neutral and reasonable. Because I don't want to start my day listening from some bald guy with the crazy accent. People, we are gonna die! Save yourself! Go! Like I don't know. Like no, it's not for me. Sorry. And what is your favorite prepper guy?
Of course, the Canadian prepper. He's the most reasonable one compared to all the other crazy YouTubers which have like a crazy eyes. You know, they start the video with the crazy eyes, and you're like thinking like, should you believe what the people are saying or not, or they just look like too crazy?
Yeah, it's so it was mini advertisement for Mr. Canadian Prepper in your podcast.
Yeah, he needs to pay us like royalties here for promoting his channel.
Yeah, I suppose we mention him almost like every time. Because we were just both watching him. Yeah. So good day to you, Mr. Canadian Prepper. Okay, what else?
The bark from the trees, you can eat it. So there is like specific methods how to eat it, but you can eat. Like in the Second World War, yeah. Like a lot of people who were hiding in the forest, they didn't have anything to eat. So you could hear stories from very old people that lived during these times. They would tell you that there was nothing to eat, and they had to eat like grass or herbs from the forest, or like go and try to eat the bark from the trees.
Yeah. Don't you think that it would be clever from these government channels and general television, like just to show people this kind of videos, like how to survive in case you don't have food? Why they don't do it?
This is like something cultural, I suppose. For example, most of the Nordic countries, they usually try to educate their population, like to be ready for emergencies. So in Nordic countries like Sweden, Iceland, Finland, so the government tries to educate like the population like a lot in this respect. So they teach them what to do in emergencies. So probably they are teaching them that they can eat the bark of the trees. Bark from the trees, yeah.
Yeah.
You boil it and you make like some kind of soup of tree bark, yeah.
Yeah, like in the morning you just come like, my dear husband, I prepared you some wood with some ants today.
You can actually eat ants, you know. You can eat insects. You can eat bugs. Like in Thailand, people they used to eat bugs, specific kinds of bugs, and some of them they are not even tasty, but they used to eat it. They are like hard, crunchy, whatever, and they used to eat it, even though they are not tasty.
Okay, I trust your word. Okay, you try. You tell me.
I've tried them. Bugs, they are like very tasty. The key is that they should be very dry and very salty.
Ooh.
Salty with like, I mean, you put like a lot of salt, like if you're like making like a dry meat.
Stop torturing me. I cannot listen to this. It's too much torture.
But in many countries, it's culturally acceptable to eat bugs.
In many countries, it is culturally culturally acceptable to eat cats, to eat dogs. Like, but I don't know. Like, this is just different countries, different rules.
Giraffes, elephants, rats.
Yeah.
In Thailand, they eat rats. Do you know this?
I don't live in Thailand. Thanks.
Like field rats, you know, like in the field.
Yeah, people did snakes and different stuff. China, they eat everything.
Snakes are tasty. Snakes are tasty.
Sabes mi sentimiento, siente mi amor. No me dejes sufrir, mamá, quita mi dolor.